When I was 13 years old, my friends and I had a sleepover where we watched 3 movies on VHS that one of our dads had rented for us. Phantasm, The Blues Brothers, and Faces of Death. Phantasm was and is great, although the most memorable thing about that particular screening is how we kept rewinding to the graveyard scene where you could see the girl's boobs. The Blues Brothers was the last movie we watched that night, as we'd all seen it before, and wouldn't miss out if we fell asleep during the movie, which is what I did. I clearly had lost no sleep over the movie that we began the evening with, which was the original Faces of Death, a grisly exploitation film that claimed to contain actual footage of people and animals dying. You would think that a bunch of kids might be freaked out by this fake documentary, which mixed bits of news footage with a whole lot of reenactments, but I suppose we were much too sophisticated, or more likely unsophisticated, to grasp the reality of death itself, especially in the context of such a cheesy presentation. We were much more focused on the movie's gross-out elements, human cadavers and monkey brains and the like. How many deaths do you suppose you've seen depicted on film? I'm guessing it's a lot. And that's not even including TV and video games. On-screen death is such a prevalent part of our visual memory that there's really no way of gauging how many times we've seen it. You can find many lists online that attempt to itemize the films with the highest on-screen body counts, but given the disagreement as to what really counts as an on-screen death, there is no truly definitive list. Scrolling through the lists, it becomes clear that films with high body counts aren't really about death at all. They tend to be about courage, revenge, growing up, accomplishing goals, winning. When people think of films that actually encourage us to think about death, they often turn to less violent and more life-affirming stuff, often focused on the stages of grief. The most popular conclusion usually involves the idea that you will live on after death in what you leave behind, that you will live on in the memories of loved ones, or the memory of your work, or some good deed. More often than not, death in the movies is not even conclusive, as demonstrated in plenty of afterlife or reincarnation stories. But what if death is truly final? That's how our scientific secular culture understands it. And if, according to this worldview, we, at the very least, live on in the memory of those left behind, what if you have no one to remember you? What if you have no legacy? In Blade Runner, Roy Batty's speech is the rare example of a movie character directly confronting his own annihilation.
All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain.
He leaves no record. None of his peers are left to actually remember him. His passing is an example of total erasure.
This is our area where the cremation really happened. We will load the remains.
There is an amazing documentary, an actual documentary, that is the best film about death that I've ever seen. It's a compelling, unsentimental, and strangely meditative film, and you can watch it for free on YouTube. A Certain Kind of Death is a fascinatingly matter-of-fact look at the day-to-day workings of the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office. The 3 deaths that are investigated in the film involve individuals who have no next of kin. No one left to handle or authorize anything regarding the body, personal effects, or funeral arrangements. Any record of the life that these people led, all their memories, like that of Roy Batty, will be eradicated. There is no one to grieve. There is no one to remember. The comforting messages that other films offer us, which all basically boil down to the idea that somebody somewhere will remember us, are completely absent here. Even Faces of Death ends on a more conventionally reassuring note.
I began to re-examine my whole outlook on death. I realized that when we die, it really isn't the end. Somehow I feel the soul in each of us remains a traveler forever.
The film's narrator and phony pathologist, Dr. Francis B. Gross, softens the blow with greeting card condolences about the cycle of life. A Certain Kind of Death has no such voiceover, no narrator to guide the viewer or offer any insight. The film rolls around in your head, challenging or consolidating your own thoughts about mortality. For the strict materialist, I imagine you might hit a brick wall, but that could be just my own prejudice. For me, the film's clear-eyed observation of how things work on the physical plane actually reaffirms my feeling that there's more to it, all of which makes A Certain Kind of Death strangely inspiring. But check it out for yourself if you're so inclined, but be aware that the film is quite graphic. And thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and have a great day.